Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. Just want to weigh in and tell you about the latest layout for Bitcoin MYK. This is probably version 7. I don't know what version this is, but we're going to just try to update you on what we're going for, uh, how simple we can make this thing, your hub when you log on to this thing, what you're looking at, and what's going on here. So let's paint a picture for you, right? When you first get on Bitcoin MYK, what to do, what should you be doing, right? So the idea we've come up with is that uh, this is going to be where social media meets your finances, meets your engagement, your activity, kind of like an everything app, right? So what happens? I log on to Bitcoin MYK. Jake Paul just won a unanimous decision over Mike Tyson on Friday night, right? So I'm on this hub. I'm getting my news, right? Dead center of the site. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? In a very simple way, to your left here of the screen is your menu button, right? So that's going to allow you to navigate the site and what kind of things is going to be available with that navigation, right? So you're going to have your basic home button, which is going to be basically this, where you log on. Oh, what's happening to the date? You're seeing members' content. You're seeing what's happening in their lives, what's happening in the news, and so on. Menu button, the activities, what members are doing, what users are doing, are they making friends, and so on. The affiliate dashboard, are we making people aware of the platform, right? And this shows, the rewards you get for telling your friends and family to join Bitcoin MYK, and so on, right? The registration button, of course, if you haven't logged on yet, that's going to allow you to register to the site. The exchange, right? We mentioned it's financial inclusion as well. So the basic unit of currency the platform uses has an exchange rate, right? You click on the exchange button to your left here, it's going to take you there. Frequently asked questions. If things aren't making sense to you, more in-depth exploration of what the project is about, frequently asked questions section. The listings, the logins, that's basically going to account for some of the other things you can do with the unit of currency. You can place advertisements, promotions with the cryptocurrency. It has an innate use and value in that scope. Your personal account, what's going on particularly in your personal account. Your wallet, of course, that's going to show your various transactions. We'll take a look at some of those things. And the white paper, which is kind of just an overall objective, telling you about the project, what its goal is, and how it works, and all those very in-depth details, right? So you're going to encounter all that from the moment you log in and complete a very simple registration, which should take you only about 30 seconds. So make sure you do that so you can get access to all of the features. Go to the right of your screen, right? What do you see? You see, in this example, my balance. I have over 775 of the currency. How did I acquire them? I acquired them by doing normal things you do on social media every day. Only thing in this particular application, you're rewarded these coins. You basically create them through your basically participation. We call it the proof of participation model. And so you become a value machine in yourself, a currency creator, a mentor, a miner, whatever you're comfortable with calling it. It works on proof of participation, which is different from what you get with proof of work, what you get with proof of stake. The problems with proof of stake is that money, if you have enough money, you can use that algorithm to basically make your voice louder than everybody else's voice, right? Meaning that the freedom of speech can be diminished based on how much money you have. Proof of work, which requires typically energy consumption or a certain technical mental aptitude to operate mining rigs or huge data mining centers. In any event, at this point in time, the more secure cryptocurrency networks, be it like Bitcoin, are basically run by huge data mining centers where most people can't compete with these larger data mining centers. In addition to that, these data mining centers aren't elected by people to secure the network or run the network, right? They could be one large company, one large agency, and control of a good majority of the network. With proof of participation, large mine equipment isn't needed, rigs aren't needed, only your participation, which creates a more fairly distributed, equal playing field in your freedom of speech and the freedom of a more democratic network. Some of these things that can be taken away from whether it be proof of work, proof of stake algorithms, right? And so it's very important you understand that when you talk about decentralization and you talk about nothing's better than Bitcoin and you talk about the advantages of proof of stake, that you include that you get further away from decentralization when you have advanced technology most people can't use, when you have platforms where money can assure you have advantages over it, right? That in the end, the only way to compete with that is put everybody on a more level playing field. In other words, make everything a more participatory economy. So with all that being said, you look to your right, and what you have is your currency balance, and then you have the recipients of the network who you can quickly transfer value and money to. You're able to engage all these things on one screen in a very quick, simple way layout. Now, when we say this is the 7th version, we want people to also understand that this won't be the last version. We want people to try to understand that more is not always better, that platforms like Reddit, used for over like 20 years or so, used a very simple, robust layout that got it to billions of dollars in valuation, right? So we look at billion-dollar companies who follow these models, and I'm sure they can add more bells and whistles, as so could we. But the question to the community is, do bell and whistles matter? Is it more helpful, or is it more complicated, more hard to use? You look to your bottom right, you get, which is basically going to be your chat rooms, which are going to be basically your instant messaging system, right? So you have all these things we tried to create in a very comprehensible way. And that's what's very important to understand, and that's what's very important to take away. I think I'm going to stop the video here. I think we'll do another one where we explore the features of Bitcoin MYK. And so this will be an intro video to that. And maybe this will, more importantly, tell us how you can use Bitcoin MYK. How it's very similar to many of your other social networks, but that is very important to keep in mind that Bitcoin MYK, whereas it's similar to many other social networks, that it shouldn't be considered your other social media networks. This has basically a bank account attached to it, your news attached, and your cryptocurrencies and other social media aspects to them. So it's that and much more. And I think in considering that, that is very important that we also consider that it doesn't necessarily want to look like some of the ideas that you may have in mind, that we consider that when I'm doing banking transactions, I want my platforms to look very, very simple, right? I don't want a lot going on when I'm moving money. That when I'm doing social media, I might want the aspects of a lot of social media sites, but not necessarily a lot of clutter. So a lot to consider here, and there will be more than 7 versions, I'm sure. But anyways, I think that's all we want to say in this particular video. Look towards more videos where we're going to go through just some of the features of what you can do with Bitcoin MYK and so on. But that's all I want to say in this particular video. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.